No, that's fine. That's fine. We just keep going. We need to change tracks anyway because we're moving into Nerd Side of the Ring.
After the song?
Well, technically, I haven't heard my Gory Midori word of the day, and I always give up my time to hear this. So, without further ado, Chris, if you have that.
Yes, let me get on here. Just need to... I need to consult Miss Dr. Angela Beard, aka Gory Midori, for said word. She, of course, appeared on our show many, many times and will be back. So I won't be. 9/17. Actually, none of us will be. Whatever. The live matching game is going to happen on 9/17, and Gory Midori will be back on the show for that day because I won't be on there because I'll be on the rooftop of Free Play Fort Worth with Street Fighter Movie. So, what do we have here? These are a lot of words. Just gotta send this to Mike.
The Superman video game?
Yes, the one with Shazam, but not Shazam. Wait, not Kazam? I'm forgetting. Captain Marvel's
arcade
in it.
one?
The arcade,
one?
Yeah, with Captain Marvel in it. And Mike B. There you go. And bring out the picture. Producing on the fly. Nope, that's Gray Fox. That's Rob Paulson again. There she is. Alright, now with the Gory Midori, aka Dr. Angela Beard, vocabulary word of the day. It's Mike.
Okay, this is...
This is appropriate song for this one.
This is an adjective.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Non-peril.
Non-peril.
It is the definition is having no equal.
Mm-hmm.
Non-peril.
Let's see here. Oh, it is also a noun. Okay, when used as a noun, the definition is an individual of unequaled excellence. Paragon.
Mm-hmm.
Non-peril.
Please use that as in a sentence and put one of us in the chat in as the subject. Go for it.
Non-peril.
Let's see here. Okay. Let's see here.
Oh my goodness.
Non-peril.
Boat guy spooning is non-peril. There we go. Right.
There you go.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you,
That's
Gory Midori.
it.
Thank you, Dr. Angela Beard. And Damien's here. Mike's here. Got this button right here. So the show is all yours, Mike and Damien.
Cool. So thanks everybody for tuning in to this week's episode of Nerd Side of the Ring. You have myself, you have Mike, Carlos, whose computer is restarting, will be joining us shortly. It's been an interesting week in wrestling since last we talked. But a lot of the fun stuff is actually happening outside of the ring, to be quite honest. And that is where we start because one Vincent Kennedy McMahon, owner of all things World Wrestling Entertainment.
His middle name's really Kennedy?
Yes.
Was he named after the famous Democrat president?
I don't know. I feel as if, well, unless it was named after Kennedy Fried Chicken, which I have other questions, but
would not have had that in the pool. Sorry. I'm distracted. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. Has anyone actually had Kennedy Fried Chicken? Because I thought that was a New York staple only, but I've seen it in other states.
I can't say that I have. Mike?
I haven't. No. You got me on that one, boss.
So I'd like to call it maybe Church's Chicken. That's kind of on the same ilk, I guess. Where I grew up in East Harlem, we had one, and we just basically called it like real chicken, and then reality we find out what real food is once we leave the hood. So there's that. It's like, oh yeah, we don't have to fry everything and eat lard. What healthy eating? What's that? But I digress. Vince McMahon, he had an edict put in place this past weekend where he said talent that work under the WWE banner had about maybe a week or so to get their ducks in a row to stop earning income through third-party sites or platforms such as Cameo, such as Twitch, and on YouTube. And that caused quite a stir because still some of the WWE superstars are not making money in wrestling because some of them have decided to stay home. So they are using their platform to make some extra dollars. So Roman Reigns has done it. Sasha Banks has done it. Alexa Bliss got, I think, asked on a date through it for $400, and then she turned the man down. But the weird part is that these are independent contractors. They are not beholden to WWE except in the realm of wrestling under their character names. But an interesting note that came out was that Vince McMahon in the meeting allegedly told them, you can't do Cameo under your character, but you can't use your real name either, which threw me for a loop because last I checked, unless Vince McMahon put some weird contractual jargon in there, how are you going to tell someone they can't use their name to make money off their name? So if I'm wrestling and my name is Jam Jam Gigolo, for instance, I can't make money off of
We need to work on that
Damien
name,
G.
Damien.
What was that?
We need to work on that name, Damien.
Well,
That's
so I
fine
don't
with
know.
me. I like it.
That's an inside joke in my old my old days in marketing and advertising.
Oh,
But yeah, that was my old gimmick name. But aside from that, I just find it interesting that Vince kind of said, "Hey, you guys can't use your real names." He has since backtracked a little bit and basically said, "Hey, you can't be in character. You have to use your real name, and you can't allude to anything under your gimmick name or your gimmick look or apparel or anything like that." So my first question to everybody else is, I mean, we all know Vince is crazy. The sack on this guy to actually be able to tell people they can't use their real names initially. So what are our thoughts there?
Don't color me surprised. Like, UFC has similar ridiculous measures for their contenders. I believe they got they put it in their contracts that they had the rights to their likeness for like gaming purposes for life if they were going to be a fighter in the UFC. So this kind of thing goes around a bit. Somehow it's all related to Ed O'Bannon, which is really weird.
Oh yes, the old UCLA power forward. Mm-hmm.
You mean, as Mike would put it, the former Dallas Maverick great?
Yes, that is correct. Now, it is. I mean, Chris is right. These type of things have surfaced before, like in UFC. It's part of the reason why there isn't a NCAA football game anymore, right? I think NCAA 14, like if you were to try to buy that game today for PlayStation 3, it goes for like maybe $70-$80, you know, and the price of that just keeps going up, right? Because people want, you know, that particular game because it's NCAA football, right? You had all college players to which, you know, their names were used, things like that, but those people in the game weren't making any money off of it. NCAA was, right? So, I mean, all these things kind of all tie together, but to bring it back to WWE real quick.
Now, wait a minute. Who gets the money from that game? Is it the NCAA? Is it the players in the game?
No.
Or is it the WWE because Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is in that game? As he was in a University of Miami national championship winning team.
Well, that was back in the 90s, so, I mean, you could check maybe NCAA.
I mean, the NCAA and Vince both have mighty big sacks.
That they do. That they do. But the there went my thought. but to bring it back to Vince real quick, the it's always been a thing in wrestling where WWE owns a certain character and that character leaves. That person leaves who played the character, goes to another promotion, and they can't use, like for instance, last night, Miro appeared on
Yes.
AEW, who has been known for the past few years as Rusev. Everyone knows him as Rusev, right? But he can't use Rusev anymore because that is owned by WWE. Okay. It was almost the same thing when new wrestlers would be brought into WWE. Sometimes they would go by a certain name and their name would be changed. For
Mhm.
example, Flash Funk, he was Too Cold Scorpio in WCW and ECW. He came into WWF and they changed his name to Flash Funk. They gave him like a totally different character to play, But of
Texas
course, a lot of people,
Tornado,
yeah,
The
you
Big
know, for
Show.
yeah. So all the WWE has always had this long history of coming up with their own characters and likenesses and own them, and then for something like this to come out, like a lot of people have always been frustrated with it. It's like, well, why can't I use the name that I've been known by for so long in here? I mean, it has happened. It hadn't happened to everybody. Like CM Punk was, well, CM Punk on the Independents. Then he came to WWE still as CM Punk, right? And he
Right.
is still known as CM Punk. It's all these, all these different. I mean, we can just go on and on for hours for people who have had different names and things like that. But for
Well, for
Vince,
instance,
yeah,
Sasha Banks can't use Sasha Banks on Cameo, but she can use Mercedes Vernado and talk about things outside of wrestling in her cameos. I think that was the caveat that Vince acquiesced and said, okay, but you can't, like you said, Mike, can't use your likeness in character. You can be you. So I guess my follow-up question would be, if you're a very colorful wrestling character, i.e. Sasha Banks with her multicolored hair, does she have to change her hair color just to use Cameo to make an extra $300 a pop?
Yeah, she can't be using the likeness of Sasha, even though it's actually her face.
It's so odd to me.
yeah,
It's
Really
odd to
is.
me too. And and we barely even touched on Twitch. Like, so
Yeah.
you can't
Xavier
just
Woods.
play video games? Like,
Mhm.
I don't understand.
Well,
I don't understand what you're stealing from the WWE in this case. Like, what is their plans to do with the Xavier Woods Twitch account?
Well, that's the thing. Like, Xavier Woods, Austin Creed. Okay, like he's making, I guess, Twitch money, right?
Mhm.
Well, WWE saying, well, where's our cut? You're Xavier Woods to us. We own Xavier Woods, but in fact, Austin Creed, I think he's been using Austin Creed when he first started that account years ago.
Yes, he did. Mhm.
Yeah,
When he
so, I
started
mean,
up, down, down.
Yeah, so I mean, he was kind of ahead of the ball on that. Like, I'm gonna use my real name, right? And then he would have other WWE superstars on there and promote them as such, right, as their, WWE name. But I guess from here on out, like those, if anyone appears on there, they'll have to go by their real names or something like that.
Yeah. Lately, he's been giving people just code names,
Yes,
like gamer tags.
yeah. Which there you go. There's a way around it right there. Gamer tags, So I mean, it's a brilliant idea for him. I mean, he's staying in front of the whole thing. But I know Paige. She has a pretty good Twitch channel as well, and and she's probably just gonna have to just go by her real name on there from here on out. But I think she was going by Paige for a little bit.
Yeah,
so.
she changed it recently to her actual name. I think it's called Nighttime with Sayara or something like that now. So they go by her real first and last name now.
So, that like probably one of the more biggest examples of people trying to fight Vince on this whole ordeal is Ultimate Warrior. When Ultimate Warrior left WWE years ago, he was probably one of the first to take Vince to court over the use of the Ultimate Warrior name, right? And so much so that he legally changed his name to Warrior.
I remember this.
Yeah, so he literally became Warrior, right? Like that's how, to say, okay, well, if you own Ultimate Warrior, I'm going to become Warrior legally. Therefore, I still get to use Ultimate Warrior and my ventures outside of WWE, and it worked. it actually worked. He still was able to use the character likeness and anything he did after that. So
And then he cut a very long promo on WCW.
yeah, a very long one at that, but you know,
The One
but either
Warrior
way-
Nation, right, Mike?
Yeah, One Warrior Nation. Yeah,
Beltran's favorite.
uh-huh. Jeez.
So do you really want my hot sports opinion on this one, Damien?
I do.
So this always creeps me out, and I hate really bringing it up because it's so dang dark. But you know, this happens with the NCAA, with the NFL, with WWE, with all kinds of things. Anytime you talk about somebody like Michael Beltran as a character and Michael Beltran as a person are synonymous, but also not the same. But like when you talk about owning like a persona that is that person, all this stuff kind of like has too much back rooted into the darkest days of like America, like slavery. And I don't want to hear I really get ooked out by it. It's immoral, to say the least, to own somebody's image or persona or anything. It creeps me out when we do the NFL Combine and we have all these young men whom we are literally parading on stage and measuring the size of their hands. Like, this shit has happened before, and it ain't cool, and it wasn't cool, and we don't really talk about where it's from. It's from the slavery days, and I'm not so cool with a modern-day slave owner, and that's what Vince McMahon is. So there you go. Is that a hot enough opinion for you?
That's a
That
hot
was,
take.
yeah.
I like it.
I'm not gonna go. I mean, you know, that's your opinion. Mine is more like it's more rooted into like old school like wrestling, like kind of like in kayfabe, where this is our world and everything outside of it doesn't exist, and we try and contain it. You know, when a wrestler leaves a promotion, back in the days, you know, in the territories, they would like trade talents, right? So he can go here, build your people up. One of your guys comes here, builds our people up, or whatever. But when it started being like national, a lot of the talents didn't go to another promotion and were like who they were in that, and you know, in the promotion they were in, they were repackaged, and they didn't mention other promotions like that. So I feel like it's more of a like just like old school like kayfabe, you know, stay in our world, don't go outside of it, don't acknowledge other people, and that's how I see it.
And I see it that way as well. I just look a step before. So yeah, your people. You're literally talking about people being owned.
I honestly think both points are extremely valid. To Carlos's point, the wrestling industry has always been known as a carnival business,
Yep.
where you don't let people in behind the scenes. And to Carlos's point, whenever someone came in from WCW, like what Mike said, you never heard about their accomplishments when they came into WWE or WWF. They just acted as, oh, they've been all over the world, they've wrestled in all these countries, but they never used to mention the promotion by name. So that's keeping it in that carny kayfabe realm, to what Carlos was saying. And to Chris's point, that actually had me thinking, because I had never even once thought of it in that realm. But when you tied it to the NFL Combine, and then knowing that Vince did say in that meeting, you can't use your real name, and who we're dealing with, that made me go, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, this might be rooted in that, which made me take 2 steps back while Chris was talking and say, ooh, Vince is a jerk, Vince is all these things. Damn. Like, if Vince is basically saying, I own you, I don't really like it. You know, I don't like AEW like that, but I can't picture Tony Khan and them saying, we own you.
I live in a gray world also, so I'm here to watch wrestling with my friends and not necessarily think about it in such heavy terms. But if you ask me what my opinion is, like it's a broader world, right? It's a gray world.
Yes, of course.
So
Because
I
we're still
appreciate
dealing with
Carlos's
Vince McMahon.
point very much so.
But
We're
to-
still
to-
dealing with Vince the human.
Yeah, to me, it's more like, let's say, like Vince McMahon owns Kane, but he doesn't own Glenn Jacobs,
Right.
So it's more like that. Like even, I mean, the best example is like Fake Razor and Fake Diesel.
Yes.
That's
So-
a very good example.
So yeah, so I see it as that he doesn't necessarily like own the person. He just owns who they're portraying, and he doesn't want that to slip outside, I guess, to Twitch or whatever the fuck.
Since that report did come out, another one followed it saying that Stephanie McMahon kind of
Mhm.
basically helped clarify. In other words, she probably went to Vince and said, "Hey, you can't say that. You shouldn't say that, and like this is not really what you mean. You mean this."
Mhm.
So in other words, yes, they can use their real names. They just can't use any WWE personas that have been given to them.
Right.
So yes, and then one of the things about this, Chris, and it hadn't been mentioned yet, but it all makes sense, underlying sense, in the fact that the NFL, they have the NFLPA, right?
Mhm.
NBA, they have the Players Association. All these other leagues have
Mhm.
Player Association. One thing that wrestling does not have that Bret Hart, of all people, have been clamoring for years is that wrestlers should have their own union. I mean, they're all in theory independent contractors. They're not like full-time employees by these companies, any of them, right? And I mean, if you do have a union, right, these kind of things wouldn't really be happening. And I do agree with Brett in the sense that that there
It'd
should
be harder.
some
There'd be
type
more protection for it because
Yeah,
you have a
exactly.
party, not just individuals trying to fight for themselves. So it's not just up to Mercedes to fight for her right to cameo. It would be up to the union of wrestlers. Yeah, that doesn't mean it wouldn't go down that way because the NFLPA is one of the most like toothless unions there is. But then you have like Major League Baseball, which their union is so strong that like the owners have trouble getting things passed. So it's they need representation. Man, it's a mucky subject. Like they do need representation, and yet their business of wrestling is absolutely insane, and that's the way they want it. Like no wrestler wants to be told like, well, this bump is too much, if they feel like the bump is what they want to take, right? Like defiantly so, correct?
You're right.
Yeah.
Hopefully, going forward with all the things of CTE, because to your point, Chris, you actually just brought up something I was going to talk about. WWE just had a lawsuit thrown out regarding injuries that cause CTE or concussions. It was about maybe, from what it seems, a 2-year legal battle by former WWE talent, around 50 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And the case was thrown out yesterday, the Second Circuit Court. So Vince wins again.
Yeah.
That is one thing that Vince does a lot. He wins a lot in court. He's lost a couple of times. He's lost to Jesse Ventura, of all people, in court. That's probably for another day right there. But one thing Vince has is he's got some good lawyers, and he's got the money to pay these lawyers off to help out in situations like this. But I mean, again, there's so many sides to that coin. Sometimes you have to look at who's in this case and all these things. You know what I mean? Like sometimes there could be just a lawyer trying to make a fast buck, which has been the case on some of these cases before. So
Right.
It's always been a he said she said type thing with cases like that. So
Yeah, but when it's a case on concussions, and yeah, concussions and wrestling go hand in hand, so that one's gonna be a very tough one. On, yeah. So unfortunately,
Yeah, this is if I don't know, if esports and gamers had some, like pro gamers had some sort of union and were not wanting to play games late at night, like, or stay up late and play games, like, that's what we do. That's always what we do. Like I don't know how to take wrestling away from the physicality of wrestling.
Right,
Unless
there's
it's
no
Invisible
real
Man and
way
Invisible
to-
Stan, I guess.
Well, there is an Invisible Man gimmick happening in the independent circuit. He always appears at the spring break events,
Yes.
and always winds up winning battle royals and pinning as many people as possible. So
I was there. I've seen it. I was like, man, that dude's unstoppable.
he is the most heavily pushed rookie ever, the Invisible Man. I tell you, man, he's actually really good. But I want to transition really quick. I'm actually going to post something in the group chat here because something just came across my docket.
Okay.
So, Mike, you know how you and I, we wear Bullet Club memorabilia and paraphernalia, right? So, the Nerds Clothing Company is starting to release new Bullet Club jackets. And I put that in the Twitch chat. Would you be willing to purchase any of these jackets?
See here.
I'll put it on the screen here in a sec. But yeah.
All right, look at that.
I'm liking these.
I am liking these. There's at least there's four. Oh gosh, I got 4 different shoes right now that would match each one of these jackets.
I bet you do.
Yeah. Wow, this is great. I mean, for me, I would probably get the just the black and gray one though. Just goes with more of the wardrobe I have.
Mhm.
These are nice, man.
Nerds does really good clothing, so I enjoy this. Probably would get the black and gray and the blue and black. I think those would be the 2 I would get.
What about you, Carlos? What do you see here?
I don't see shit, man. My internet's messed up.
Okay.
I'm just on Discord.
Oh, okay.
Well.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Carlos.
There's this
Can't-
kid that lives here in this house. Unfortunately for me, because he uses all my shit, and he uses up the
Downloading
Wi-Fi,
Downloading
Yeah.
Invictus right now.
and he's downloading some Fortnite.
Oh
That game sucks.
man. The
Chris,
show's
which one would you get?
Okay, it would be bottom right, blue and gold. It's got the Killer Queen colors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or the Gory Midori's old team, the Wrecking Crew. So that's my alternate color for Dictator because it's blue and gold, Killer Queen, and the Wrecking Crew. It's actually just the Wrecking Crew. It extends beyond that. But no silver and blue, so no one that I would actually go for. It's close. Close.
Close. It's
I'll
close.
send you the link, Carlos.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chris, what were your thoughts last night when we were all watching AEW wrestling?
I thought just overall, like the show started off with a really strong match. I can't remember who it was though. I'm sorry, my
It
recollection.
was the Pentagon Junior and Phoenix Junior versus Jurassic Express.
Yes. That was the best match I'd seen in weeks. It felt like a lot of cool stuff happening, a lot of cool team up moves, a lot of 1-on-2 moves I saw in that exchange. Really cool. Really liked what I saw from all 4 of those wrestlers. Enjoyed myself quite a bit. The show kind of carried on. It didn't continue the momentum from that, I would say, overall.
No.
And then it finished up strong with the TNT title match between
It was Brody Lee and Dustin.
yeah. So I bookended with some really strong matches on either side, which had me enjoying, had me more locked in than normal for the wrestling portion of Wrestling Wednesday. But yeah, there was quite a lull there in the middle where it was just Matt Hardy talking about I'm not sure, and
Matt
Dad
Hardy.
bod.
I'm sorry. No,
No,
well,
go ahead.
Matt Hardy had a big
Big bump.
yeah. He actually got really hurt.
Is he
So,
okay?
He's okay, but he took like a 15-foot fall and hit his head on the concrete.
I saw it. It looked like it, much like Mike B. It could have killed him if it was a sharp rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we both shared falls this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We took some bumps, brother.
Were you punch drunk like Matt Hardy was going down the river, Mike?
No, I was it wasn't that bad.
Did you go on to win the
I
match,
wasn't that-
Mike?
I wasn't that bad after I took my fall, but you know, I was able to shake it off rather quickly and get back in the tube and, you know, keep the day going. But yeah, I wasn't stumbling. I didn't need help. Yeah, I mean, I swam to my tube right after that. So yeah, I was fine.
No trend.
Yeah.
What kind of bumps did you take? Were they like Razor Ramon bumps, or just? The people want to know.
Oh, well, no, they were bumps where I fell on my
We are
head.
back, guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was that type of stuff, you know. But I'll tell you more about that later. I'll tell you more about
I was
that
gonna
later.
say I feel like there's a thing there that I don't know about. So
Yeah,
I guess
no,
you could
I'll tell y'all in person.
Okay,
what
cool.
I
So,
saw.
so okay, we watched AEW last night. Mike, you got there after that first match, and to Chris's point, I honestly agree. It kind of just dragged a little bit until the end, and that was a hoss fight by any stretch of the imagination last night between Brody and Dustin, and they beat the living piss out of each other.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it reminded me of a good old, to quote JR, slobber knocker of the Attitude Era, where they just threw hands, and I liked it. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. It was a very old school feeling type of match, but in a good way. And yeah, and then for being 51, Dustin is pretty awesome to watch him the way he does. The artist formerly known as Goldust he's top tier.
Did anyone watch NXT this week?
I did.
Yes.
I did. I saw it. Man, I'm guessing Chris probably didn't see it because he was busy with Third Striker. What was ever happening Tuesday? But man, that match delivered, man. Like that's the NXT show started off with the title with the Balor and Adam Cole baby going at it. That match was good. They had a damn good match, and you know, Finn Balor is our new NXT champion now. If you hadn't heard or seen yet, but yeah, that match all around was good. I mean, it just, you know, I mean, you got two of the best performers today going at it. It was good. It was definitely good, and I kind of wish, you know, this was again a live audience type thing where, you know, the fans would have reacted to it, because there were some great spots in it, and Balor was pretty beat up in it too. I mean, he was, you know, Adam Cole was chopping the hell out of him, and he, you know, took some nasty bumps himself, and like if you go back and look, you'll see his body has, you know, nice scratches and things like that on it. So it was a good match, and after the match, they did shoot a video backstage where Adam Cole even came up to Finn and, you know, gave him a handshake, congratulated him. It almost seems like they're moving Adam Cole into a face role, maybe, kind of teasing it. But they even did the Too Sweet, which, you know, got my juices flowing a little bit. I was like, there it is. Because Chris, if you did not know, Finn Balor and Adam Cole were once members of the Bullet Club.
Uh-huh.
At different times, but they were both in it at one point, so they both gave each other the Too Sweet after their title match.
Oh,
And
really?
not only
Nice.
that, and not only that, Finn Balor he's the OG.
Yeah, he is the OG.
He
of
was
Bullet Club.
the first leader.
Yeah.
So they're
First
back
leader of
to
the Bullet
Too
Club.
Sweeting. They can do that again?
Well, they can.
Okay, they can.
They can. Yeah.
I'm so confused.
One sweet.
Yeah, one sweet.
They can do it as long as it's on WWE programming. If you do it to make profit outside of WWE, because apparently that has also been trademarked by Vince and company, can't do that. So the Bucks, I remember, got a cease and desist order, being able to use Too Sweet, and then they profited off of that by having a sensor over their hand while making the motion. So business, the wrestling business. It brings so much joy. But the ending of NXT
I enjoy the
was just as
creativity
good.
of it all.
Oh, of course. You have to be creative to actually be able to thrive in professional wrestling. Much like that steel cage match we had at the end of NXT, Chris. We had Mercedes Martinez and Rhea Ripley. Pretty much have one of the most physical women's matches, physical
Whoa.
cage matches that we've seen
How am I
in
watching
a
this?
long time.
How am I watching this? Carlos, help me out.
Network.
Help me out. I gotta
Watch
see
it
this
on.
one. I gotta see
It
this
should
one.
be. It should be
Yeah.
on the network.
Got it.
Yeah, it's on
That's
the
what I'm
network.
doing immediately after this show. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it was a really good, well contested, hard hitting, chairs, bumps. One of the managers got knocked out on top of the cage, and he just dangled there for the last half an hour of the match, which
Oh
was
my
stupid, but
Yeah.
funny. And it ended with, I'm not going to spoil it for you, Chris, but it ended with a table spot from high above.
It was a damn good match. You know, first of all, it's a cage match, and to quote JR, when Rhea Ripley's music hit, I already knew business is about to pick up, and business was picked up, and it was a very, very good match. Very good match.
I highly recommend you watch it, Chris.
I'm
Highly
watching it
recommend
the moment I get off the air. I can tell you that.
Yeah, they're both tough. I mean, like they're legit tough wrestlers. Like they're no Barbie doll type wrestler. No, these girls that they'll kick your ass.
I've
You know what I
seen.
mean?
Yes.
Yeah. So them going at it in a cage was really really good, really good. I enjoyed it.
But-
now I go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. Now to back up a little bit more, I had missed because I was out of town. I missed the AEW show Saturday night. I obviously saw the Matt Hardy bump, but did anyone else catch the rest of the show or the show or anything? Because I was fine with Moxley still being champion. As we briefly talked about the week before. Anybody have any thoughts on the AEW show
okay.
from this past Saturday?
So for me, again, the women's match was one of the best matches on the card. Sheeta and Thunder Rosa had a really good match. I think the end kind of struggled because from what I was told, Hardy bump cost about maybe 5 to 10 minutes off their initial match. So the girls had to go longer and they had to come up with an extra 5 minutes on the fly. And a lot of people said the end dragged on. But I thought they had some really good spots. It was really, the whole hardest part of the ring where people take bumps on the apron and on the rampway. And again, I don't want to say, oh, well, for women's wrestling, this is a big deal. But the ferocity that they wrestled in an AEW match and I'm not even going to talk about the tooth and nail, whatever the heck that match was called, because I think that was not that good. But overall, I think the overall women's match was great. I think, to be honest, the Moxley match, it went as good as I thought it was going to be because I've never been an MJF fan in terms of his wrestling acumen. On the microphone, unparalleled. In the ring, not so good. And the right guy went over. I can't picture anyone taking the title off of Moxley. There was one weird slip up in the Battle Royal where I was going to call him Evan Bourne, but Matt Sydal, formerly Evan Bourne, was the wild card entrant in this battle royal, and he went up to do a shooting star press and slipped and busted himself and almost landed right on his neck. And just on his first introduction to AEW, Chris,
Yes.
he slips off the top rope
Oh dear.
and botches the move and almost hurts himself in the process.
Now a lot of people know him, right? And they know he can pull that move off,
Seamlessly.
like snapping his finger, like he can do it all day in his sleep. But yeah, that's just unfortunate. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people, give him a pass. Like, okay, yeah, we know you've been around for a while doing this. You're okay. Like he is that good of a wrestler to be like, okay, we get it, we understand. But yeah, I saw that too. I was like, geez, man, like it's. Like it almost seemed like the whole show was rather sloppy.
It was. And I think that's what knocked it down for me because I was able to catch it on one of those other After Dark streams kind of thing. And I fast forwarded through a lot of it because a lot of it didn't interest me. The tag team match with Paige and Omega and FTR, I think it went 5 minutes too long. And when you have tag team wrestling that seems to slog, it's not a good match to watch. I think that one spot with Hardy and Guevara messed up the timing of the rest of the show.
Probably still, because you definitely, like improvising on the fly, a wrestling match. I mean, you plan all the stuff out, and then to come up with more stuff, that's a bit tough. And kudos to them to,
trying to make something happen,
Yeah.
Oh, so any other thoughts about that? Did you watch the pay-per-view or seen any of the highlights?
I didn't watch the pay-per-view at all. The only thing that I saw was the Hardy bump. I wish I would have seen the Thunder Rosa match because the women, those two women are pretty legit.
Mhm.
But yeah, I didn't really see anything. I know
Be
they're
honest,
turning.
Mike, you didn't miss anything.
They're turning. Well, the heel turns are coming, right?
Yes, the Elite is going to turn heel. That's what's coming right now. So the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, seem to be deviating toward the dark side of the heel of professional wrestling, where initially everybody thought Hangman Page was going to turn heel against the Elite. Now it just seems as if they're going back to their old New Japan hockey heel motto. And you know what? To be quite honest, I'd rather see them as the cocky heels, the Bucks and Kenny Omega respectively, than do this goody two shoes, play to the crowd, babyface stuff. That I don't think that suits them.
Yeah, I don't. I like cheering the guys that I think are cool, And the Young Bucks are great wrestlers, but like their gimmick they had, like that's not cool. I'm not gonna cheer that. I want some badasses. I want 1996, 97 HBK type of guys that they were, and
that was their gimmick essentially. You're right, Carlos.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what. Yeah, I want heel Bucks. I want them to super kick everybody. Yeah,
Everybody. To which, I mean, that's kind of what got them really, really popular in the first place when they were in the Bullet Club, and they're just heels. And when they wrestled independently in the States, as still heels, part of the Bullet Club, I mean that their popularity just soared. I mean, that's why you saw their shirts at Hot Topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Chris, they had a thing called Super Kick Party, and there was a counter with how many super kicks they threw a match, and you just go ding or super kick like in the crowd. So they would just count off how many super kicks they would do during a match.
Nice. I certainly have seen all the shirts or mini shirts. It's how I know who I can go up and too sweet randomly.
Yeah,
that's a good point. That's a good identifier.
Mike taught me that trick, and then I took it to New York, and they were very, very happy to sweet me there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at iFix Machines, the owner Chris had his Bullet Club shirt on, and here it comes. Here's the too sweet.
Switching gears, SmackDown and Raw have been going in opposite directions lately. I breezed through Raw. I kind of watched the quick highlights. But from what I've been told and what I'm seeing, SmackDown, with now the addition of the G, Roman Reigns, as well as the continued feud between Sasha and Bayley, because I know everybody's heart was broken when they finally decided to pull the trigger on that. I'm liking where SmackDown is going, especially now that Jey Uso, one of the legendary Usos tag team, is wrestling Roman at Night of Champions for the Universal Championship. And as I told Mike last night before we left Free Play, if you don't know what the finger poke of doom is, you might want to go look it up, because I have a sneaking suspicion we're going to get something like that, which is very Vince Russo-esque.
The Bloodline is going to reunite.
Bloodline is going to form NWO Wolfpack type thing on SmackDown, go after the tag belts. There's a rumor that Naomi's going to join the Bloodline or Tamina.
That would be sick, man.
That would be sick. My favorite thing on SmackDown right now is actually the true Intercontinental Champion, Sami
Sami
Zayn.
Zayn. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is my favorite thing on SmackDown, and like the night that Roman Reigns came with Paul Heyman. I mean, just before that, I mean that you had the return of the Liberator, Sami Zayn, with his Intercontinental Championship, to which Chris,
Yes.
Sami Zayn defended his title at WrestleMania, and when COVID happened, he basically stayed home and elected not to participate, and he stayed in Canada with his Intercontinental Championship. Well, he couldn't defend the title in 30 days. So the title's vacated. Well, he came back. He's still champion. He never lost. And he has his belt with him. And it's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn's my guy.
That type of storyline, I mean, it doesn't happen too much, but when it happens, it always makes sense because, I mean, we saw with Razor and HBK. HBK never lost the title. Sami Zayn never lost the title.
He never lost the title. So there's 2 Intercontinental belts on SmackDown right now, and it's great. I love it.
The linear champion.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. That's my guy, Sami Zayn.
So I guess the question here is, and I think I know your answer, Mike, is SmackDown finally back to being the A show?
I mean, with Roman Reigns back as champion, yeah, they're instantly the A show. As they were supposed to be since they moved to Fox, right? They're on network TV, so you have to, put all your focus on that. And for the longest time, it wasn't,
Yeah.
So that they're the A show now, and to go back on Raw, I mean, yeah, Raw's kind of going backwards a little bit, but I did like finally something they've been teasing for a long while now. But
Yes.
Cedric Alexander
Yes.
is now part of the Hurt Club, and I love it. And I might get me one of those shirts. Those shirts are cool.
Yeah, the
Oh,
black
Chris,
and gold.
you don't
Yeah.
know this, but it's called the Hurt Business, and it's basically a stable of all African American wrestlers who are just whooping people's backsides in Raw Underground and in matches. The mouthpiece is MVP. They got Bobby Lashley as the U.S. champ. Shelton Benjamin is like a 4-time 24/7 champion and former Olympian, collegiate NCAA wrestler. And now they've added one of the underutilized, and we throw that word around a lot, underutilized, but he is a truly undervalued talent, Cedric Alexander, kind of like the young version of all these guys put together. And I'm really curious to see whose ass they're going to whoop from here on in.
They just grew in numbers, so now there's
Yeah.
4 total. And to me, right now, MVP is the best manager going right now.
Yeah. And
Manager slash wrestler. Well,
MVP, he was like supposedly had his last match earlier this year, right? And
yeah,
being in the Hurt Business is extends his in ring
Really?
career a little bit more, and I'm good with that. MVP's solid,
he is.
Solid.
I'm with it.
but he has the worst signature move ever, though. But whatever.
Is it the overdrive? Whatever they call it, the playmaker? That's so dumb.
Yeah, Randy Orton's old move.
Yeah.
But-
Just don't worry about that.
But yeah, going back to the SmackDown and Raw, yeah, SmackDown is the A show because they have Roman Reigns as champion. Roman Reigns has Paul Heyman with him. They're teasing a lot of stuff that can go down. Only 2 of the horsewomen are in WWE right now, and both of them that are in WWE are on SmackDown. So that's another big thing.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
So, and yeah, that's SmackDown is where it's at. Especially, Roman Reigns being there is a huge deal. And having heel Roman there is a bigger deal.
Because it was something that the fans were like, turn him heel, we're booing him. And now that he's turned wiener more so than heel,
Yeah,
we don't want it now. You know what? You can't have everything, wrestling fans. Stop it. Just
Yeah.
stop being whiny.
but they still tune in because they want to see what's going on. No matter if Roman Reigns on screen or not, if you like him or hate him, you're still gonna tune in because people want to cheer him, and the people that don't want to cheer him, they still want to boo him, and they tune in to boo him. and the numbers are there. He's the guy.
Yep, he is the guy.
Before, go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
No, I was just saying he's the big dog. Michael Cole
Yeah,
impersonation.
Oh yeah,
It's
that's a
it's
good
his
one.
yard now.
Yeah.
Can you say boss time, Mike, really quick?
Boss time.
Michael Cole's play-by-play. It is sometimes great and other times just egregious.
Yeah.
But I do have a little bit of quick news that I just saw on my Twitter feed here. One John Cena is going to be the new host of Wipeout on the TBS network.
Whoa.
Yes, they're bringing back Wipeout on TBS, and John Cena will now be the host.
That should be fun. I'm sure he likes that type of stuff.
That's the most backhanded of compliments there from Mike.
No, it's fun. Like John Cena looks like he likes to have a fun time, and that seems like that's fun for him. Just people wiping out. I mean, it's a good show. I like it.
What was that one show on the Spike Network? Was like something Elimination Challenge where you had the Japanese commentary game
MXT.
show, but they made it Americanized.
Yeah.
MXT, yeah. I love that show.
Yeah, see stuff like that. That's fun. I mean, The Miz has a show like that now on USA.
Yeah, he does.
I forgot what it's
That's
called.
still on.
Yeah, it's still on. I think it just ended, but yeah, that was happening. So same
Yes.
thing. People
What
just
guy?
eating it. People, that's it. Yeah,
There
MXT
you go.
24/7.
Oh wow, there is a Twitch channel that we can watch it all the time. Oh, great.
24/7. I guess we know where we're rating.
Oh no,
Yeah.
man! I think I'll
So,
start.
gentlemen,
Yeah.
any other wrestling tidbits for the week?
Let's see. Let's see. What's coming up? When's the next pay per view? When's the next pay per view? Let's see.
States Clash of Champions.
Yeah. Let me look that up. So I can start planning out my month.
Love when Mike gives us dead air. That's great.
Yeah.
When Mike just goes to either take a phone call or researches something, and it's just dead air.
Yeah,
For 20 seconds. I now
Yeah.
see what Chris goes through.
all the time. Yes.
Hold on, when is
I have to have about 20 to 30 different things I can jump to without any notice during my
September
few
27th. That's it. September 27th. That's the next one.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. That's the next show.
Should be a good one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Your Poke of Doom, everybody. Go look that up, and then you'll be prepared for Clash of Champions.
We'll see. We'll see. You never know. I don't see a laydown like that happening. I think maybe they'll build it up just a little bit. I don't see it happening right there. I think, let Jay, have his moment wrestling his cousin for a little while. You know what I mean? Let's just-
Or do you think it's gonna be a super heel Roman and beat the shit out of his own cousin?
There's a possibility.
That's a possibility too. I don't know. There's something there. I don't think it'll be finger poke esque, but there's something there. I think they'll tease it a little more because they gotta, they gotta build some stuff up for a Survivor Series. So we'll see. Give it a slow build. Who knows?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
To which
I think-
man, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look good, but man, I mean, Survivor Series is supposed to be here this year, but it doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was supposed to be here. They never officially announced it, but if you go back and search, it was heavily rumored to be here this year. And then, COVID happened and all this other stuff. And it doesn't look like it'll happen now. It might still be in Orlando, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here in the next few months. Maybe they will decide to do it with limited people. We'll see. You never know. You never know, Chris.
Need Mike be back in the front row.
Yeah. Oh man, my friends from London were supposed to come. It's also my birthday week.
More James promos. Man, we haven't.
Yeah.
Got to introduce James to Damien. Can you imagine that promo?
Oh man,
Yeah.
there's so many dialects and accents happening. It's great. Subtitled in English, and they're both speaking.
Uh,
Uh, yeah, I love that. I love when those happen. Like, what he say? That was English.
Yeah.
I digress.
I have a quick question, by the way. Well, first
Sure,
of all, one just a statement or a comment. Sunny Kids looked pretty badass yesterday. Sunny
Damn
Kids, Sunny Kids was doing work, but also I have a question for y'all. Who has the better mullet? Is it Jay Uso, or Brian Pillman Jr.?
Ryan Pillman Jr.
Yeah, Pillman Jr. hands down, man.
That is one of the sweetest mullets I've ever seen.
He's got it fully shaved on the sides, like
Yeah,
all the
it
way.
is. Yeah, business in the front, party in the back.
Mhm.
That's a hard party.
Badass 360 all around.
That's a hard party for sure, right, Mike?
That's a hard party for sure, man. Oh my god. Woo. The bigger the mullet, the harder the party.
The bigger the bumps, right, Mike?
Man, I'm gonna tell y'all about that when I see y'all in person. There were other bumps I saw this past weekend, but
Uh-oh.
Oh,
yeah.
whoa.
Not only did I take a bump
We didn't-
literally in the river, but
We
I
didn't
saw
go
a bunch of
full
others.
Minnesota Vikings party boat on us, did we?
No, I didn't, but
Uh-huh.
man, it just seemed seriously. It seemed like that stuff never ended. Like I saw it till I left. I was like,
Oh.
damn, they still got it. Fuck.
Beltran.
Yeah.
Was it rap game Michael Irving?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. It was, man. I was like, God, it
No.
never ended.
At the
It never ended. I was like, jeez.
White
All right.
White House on Mount Beltran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. I kind of
There's-
figured,
yeah.
okay.
There's
Mhm.
bodies
yeah,
floating in the river right now.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you don't know about Michael Irvin in the '90s, do you, Damien?
Oh, I do know as a Giants fan. I heard all the stories. So
Oh,
Really?
okay. Well, yeah.
Did
They're
you ever
true.
hear about him stabbing the guy?
stabbing whom?
A teammate?
Oh,
Wow.
oh, no.
That's true.
Yeah, that is true.
Would you like to know why?
Yes, please.
Because he thought he skipped him getting a haircut.
Skipped him in line?
Yeah, getting a haircut.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
you
he
gotta
Sorry.
be kidding me.
so he stabbed him. Eyewitness accounts that we would definitely trust stabbed him
Uh-huh.
in the neck with scissors
Yeah.
right in front of the media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It legit happened. That's not.
Yeah.
Those
Is it Alvin Harper?
No, it was a lineman. I forgot who it was.
Okay.
Who was
Yeah.
it? Dang it, who was it? Full guy? Do you remember?
Someone
Nah.
that he could stab in the neck, and we
Yeah.
all would just let it go because it was Michael
Yeah.
Irvin. Like every
Yeah.
one of us.
Like, oh, okay, that's cool.
We all
It was-
heard. We're like, but it is Michael Irvin.
I know he didn't stab Larry Allen, that's for sure.
Yeah, I wasn't Larry
Yeah,
Allen.
Larry Allen would have took it and laughed.
And still fought a bear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, and win. Just win at that.
Yeah, Larry
Yeah.
Allen would have grabbed the scissors and he would have looked at Michael Irving and said, "You almost tickled me."
Just crumble them in his hand.
Yeah.
Then take a drag off a cigarette.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know who Larry Allen is, Damien?
I do,
Giants
yes.
fan. Yeah, he definitely knows.
Okay. Yeah.
Larry Allen's a gazelle.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? You seen that video where he
Yeah.
was it an interception or something?
It was a fumble. I think it was an interception.
Oh, yeah.
And
I saw that.
he ran all the way.
And caught
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
He caught him.
Was that in the Super Bowl
Ah.
with the Don Beebe catching him when he couldn't run into the end zone?
Oh, that was Leon Lit.
Yeah, that's-
right.
Yes.
Yeah,
That was Leon Lit.
We try
He
not
was
to talk
another
about him.
fun guy.
Yeah. He had a couple of those gaffes.
Yes.
yeah.
I feel like Nate Newton would have ate Michael Irving if he tried to stab him.
Not today.
No, Nate Newton is very svelte now. He's very svelty, which I
Yeah.
appreciate.
Nate Newton is the one man in this world whom I've actually recognized by their ass. I saw him. I saw him playing pinball at GameWorks Grapevine back in the day. He's kind of hunched over the machine playing pinball, and I glanced over there and I was like, "Is that Nate Newton?" Because at the time, John Madden would circle it every week, right, for his little sweat game. And I walked over there, and sure enough, that was Nate Newton. I had recognized him by his posterior.
Yeah, it was Everett McIver. That's who he stabbed.
Yeah, who?
Oh, that was in '98. Everett
Yeah.
McIver. There you
Yeah.
go.
If Michael Irvin doesn't get a fade, you get a fade.
No one catches the fade.
Oh man.
Well,
Yay.
I think the last thing I can say for wrestling topics is Dominic Mysterio. I don't know what they did to him in the lab to make him such a good wrestler at this stage of his young, and I do mean young career. I think he's had less than 5 matches. And he put on a hell of a match this past Monday against Buddy Murphy. The sliding sunset flip power bomb onto a table.
To a table, that was good.
Chris, if you get a chance to look at that, at some point, just look up Dominic Mysterio, Buddy Murphy, and he slides under the ring from the apron into a flipping power bomb onto a table in one motion.
I'm gonna have to see this. Yeah, I can't conceptualize it. Another thing I couldn't conceptualize was that what was that match last night that had a choke slam that was like across the ring?
Oh, Luchasaurus choke slammed Ray Phoenix off the
dude.
top rope. Mm-hmm.
It looked like a glitch in a video game. He choke slammed him so far across the ring.
Yeah, he took some crazy bumps in that match.
Dude.
So, Mike, you missed that one. So, what Chris is referring to is that Luchasaurus had Ray Phoenix up on the top rope, not off the turnbuckle, off the rope, and slingshot choke slammed him across the ring.
Like
Yeah.
like across. Like it looked like a glitch.
Yeah,
Because
and
he
then,
just had him suspended,
that's awesome.
moving across. Boom.
but also the way Phoenix fell, because it almost looked like he landed on his head. It looked crazy.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot on Phoenix taking that one. That was incredible.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know how you pull that off.
We all reacted. We all yelled out when we saw it. We were like, "Holy crap!" Mike, get a chance to look at that if you can. That's a good spot.
Yeah, I'll go back and watch it. And of course, I came in like I guess right after Miro debuted, right?
Mhm.
Is
Yeah.
that about right? Yeah, man, I wish I'd seen that in person. I would have lost my S on that one. Dang it!
Everybody did.
Dang it! I hate that.
Yeah. Miro
But
Day.
with that, Miro's back. For those who don't know, Rusev, now known as Miro, is back in AEW, aligning with, of all people, Kip Sabian, which I hope that allegiance does not last more than 2 weeks. And I'm getting a little tired of the WWE sucks promo by a new debuting wrestler from WWE in another promotion. But with him, it makes sense because for a long time, people felt that he was so underutilized because there was a time when Rusev Day was a big deal, Chris. He was the most over man in the company.
Yeah.
They made a calendar just for him during that 3-month span when he was getting over as Rusev Day. And they did nothing with him. This man rode into WrestleMania on a tank. They did nothing for him. So I'm curious to see now. He gets to be himself. He's very engaging. He's very funny on Twitch. He told Doug Meltzer to burn in hell, which for me scores all the brownie points in the world. I'm looking forward to see what he does now in AEW, and I think that's my one big takeaway from this week. So shout out to Dominic Mysterio, Miro, and women's wrestling this week. Really good stuff.
I got some homework to do. I'll be on it as soon as we get off the air.
Give me a quick second here. Vamp a little bit more, if you could.
Do we have breaking news or something?
No. I was trying to add to this.
You mean aside from John Cena debuting on Wipeout, Mike? You got something better?
He's talking with John Cena right now. We're listening to breaking news and live coverage of Mike B fielding a call from his man that he provided the intro video for, John Cena. Might be able to hear that.
Sending you a picture, Chris.
Oh my God, is that what this was
Picture.
about? Just send it to me beforehand. I had to explain to him. See, he does this stuff for any random person. I had to explain to him for 10 minutes who Rob Paulson was.
Yeah, no, that was good.
Yeah, now he knows.
Yeah, now I know.
I saw that glazed over look in his eye for ever.
Oh man. Yeah, and you know what? I think, if I recall correctly, this whole Rusev Day thing started. I think it was a tweet he put out where I think he said it was either Christmas or New Year's, one of those. It was like, "What is this Christmas Day? It is Rusev Day," and then I think it took off from there. It was either Christmas or New Year's, one of those two, and I think that's how I think it took off, or that was part of it taking off, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that was kind of the origins of it.
He-
Thereabouts.
Man, he has too much personality. They didn't let him shine how he should have, and he was still getting the biggest reactions. And he was the most over in WWE, and he could have been a lot more if they knew what they were doing. But
I love how Mike does not care about Lana. He only cares about Miro.
Oh yeah. No, I was all well. Let me tell you
I
why.
love it.
Let me tell you why. Because so when this is happening, you'll like this, Carlos. I was wearing the Flint 13s, and
Oh,
Miro walks in, and he sees what I'm wearing. He goes, "Oh, Flint 13s, very good, very nice." And I was like, "Hell yeah, man!" I was like, "Yes." He knew what's up.
hell yeah, that guy's cool.
Yeah, he's a shoe guy too. So
Yeah.
there you go, man. This dude's a little bit of everything. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, there you go.
Where was this meet and greet at, Mike? This looks like a high school gymnasium. Where was this?
You're not far off. This was at the UTA College Park Center, a mile from Free Play Arlington.
Oh,
There's a house
okay.
show. Yeah, there's a house show that took place. They had a couple of house shows there.
Did you
in
challenge him
recent
to
years.
the Street Fighter?
I did not.
Oh.
But yeah, this was that right there. So there were others that I got to meet that maybe you'll see on the stream one day. So I'll save those for another time. But yeah,
Oh,
Rusev complimented me. Oh, and also when he wrestled that night, and of course I was sitting ringside, he saw me, and he did tear his Rusev Day shirt and threw it at me, and I caught it.
oh.
I have his torn Rusev Day shirt still. So.
Nice humble brag there, Mike.
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
were front row. Because like always,
Mhm.
front row.
Thanks, Captain Humble.
Jeez. Oh my God! All right, I gotta give
I think
it some
I think that wraps up this episode of Nerd Side of the Ring, everybody.
Good
Chris,
Lord.
back to you.
Thank you, Damien and Carlos, and I guess Mike for joining us. We are doing broadcasting on and off all day today. We'll be back at 6 to 7 p.m. with Pinballers, and then at 8 p.m. we'll have the live matching game with Rob Paulson. And if you don't know who that is, Mike, do you know who that is? There's a lot of things. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, he played Raphael. Animaniacs, he played Pinky. He's in Darkwing Duck, Dexter's Lab, DuckTales, Gargoyles, G.I. Joe, yes, that G.I. Joe, Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, Jim, Johnny Bravo, Justice
Wow.
League, The Jetsons, Kim Possible, The Land Before Time, like all of them, Pro Stars, that was for Mike,
Pro Stars.
Thundercats, that was for
Yeah.
me. Teen Titans, that one's for Edward Bowie. Tasmania, Sonic the Hedgehog, Samurai Jack, Rick and Morty, and of course, the New Kids on the Block animated series. It just goes on and on and on and on. Yeah.
Wait, Chris Dope. If
Yo.
you give Beltran a minute, he'll send you a picture of that guy with him.
He didn't know who he was. That's why I had this list, is I had to break it down for Mike because I told him like 14 times. He's like, "Yeah, that's cool. There's a dude."
Yeah, no.
Uh huh. And Transformers, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So he'll be on the show along with 4 other celebrity panelists and me for some reason as part of the live matching game. And yeah, that's going to be a good time. 8 o'clock, and of course, Free Play Richardson open tonight, starting at 3 all the way to 11 p.m. So feel free to ignore us and support the arcade. That's why we're all here. freeplayinc.com/savethearcade. Love you guys. We're going to send it over to Boat Guy's favorite channel, only MXC for basically MXC for all the way up until 6 p.m. when we jump back on to the
Wow.